All right, man. Salute everybody for tapping on in. Ticket TV live streams. Shouts out to the whole LDBC. Salute to A Weapon, C Rep Medlife Music. Man, let's get into this video, man. Um, yeah, man, it's pretty much barring um, anything that's unforeseen coming forward, which I can't see it, man. I believe that Kawhi Leonard needs to go ahead and retire after this, man. I believe it's over with, bro. For everybody that's listening, I think that Kawhi Leonard needs to retire, and Steve Ballmer just needs to go ahead and step down, man. It's just my opinion after what just was released this morning by Pablo Torre. And let me say this before I start this video: a lot of people complaining about Pablo Torre and why is he investigating this? Why is he investigating that? Pablo Torre, for you guys who don't know, he left ESPN. And I'm gonna start by saying this so everybody can have a little research on Pablo Torre. He left his full-time position at ESPN, right, to join Meadowlark Media, where he basically launched his own podcast show, which y'all see him on now, the Pablo Torre Finds Out show. And Pablo had been with ESPN since 2012. And he had been on shows like Around the Horn, Pardon the Interruption, uh, and he hosted ESPN Daily from 2020 to 2022. Now, when he left, basically he left because he wanted to pursue a unique style of adversarial uh, journalism that he felt was better suited outside of the corporate entity of ESPN, and we know why. Traditional framework, because we know why. He working at ESPN, and I'm finna let him get busy like this, and I'm finna tell y'all what's up with that. Before I tell y'all what happened, that basically Kawhi Leonard is over with, man. Torre, he had basically negotiated the agreement with ESPN to keep appearing on as semi-regular guest shows like Around the Horn and Pardon the Interruption, while primarily working with Meadowlark Media. Yeah. That arrangement reflected ESPN's evolving strategy to allow the talent to build personal brands elsewhere while maintaining its ties with the network, right? And Pablo said that ESPN was shockingly diplomatic about his move, indicating that he had like no animosity or forced release from them, but actually a mutual agreement. And so, you know, his shift was also influenced by his failed LSAT attempt in college, which redirected his career towards journalism and his desire for creative freedom in projects like investigative reporting on figures like Bill Belichick and Kawhi Leonard. So everybody who keeps saying, and this is the funny part, right? You have to actually do your research because people kept saying that, like, "Hey man, why doesn't this guy? He wants to investigate Kawhi. Why doesn't he investigate LeBron James or anybody else?" Well, guess what? He has, sucker. And I'm finna tell you this right before we get into this video. So Pablo Torre has conducted multiple investigations throughout his show, Pablo Torre Finds Out, and other platforms. Now, we already know about the Kawhi Leonard situation that he's currently doing right now with the owner, uh, ballhead Steve Ballmer, right? Uh, Also, he investigated the NFL owners in collusion, and he uncovered a 61-page arbitration ruling back from 2022 that was kept secret by the NFL, which addressed a grievance filed by the NFL Players Association. And the grievance accused the NFL Management Council of colluding to suppress guaranteed money in players' contracts following the Deshaun Watson $230 million fully guaranteed deal with the Cleveland Browns. Now, although the arbitrator found no definitive collusion, the report highlighted the league's encouragement to limit guarantees, leading to scrutiny and the resignation of NFL Player Association Executive Director Lloyd Howell. Now, also, he investigated none other than old ass Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. Now, Torre, he broke multiple stories about former NFL coach and current college coach at University of North Carolina, Bill Belichick's relationship with Jordan Hudson, including threatening legal action against the University of North Carolina to obtain public records related to Bill Belichick's football program. So Pablo also investigated that. Pablo also hinted that he is going to investigate Jalen Brunson's $113 million contract extension with the New York Knicks, suggesting potential irregularities in the deal, though no full report has yet been released to this point. And also, Pablo Torre has investigated and has discussed investigative work involving none other than LeBron, Ramon, James, particularly related to his tenure with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the specific details of that investigation have not been released. And he was investigating LeBron James when he played in Cleveland alongside Kyrie Irving. For you guys who don't know, you better do your research. For y'all who said, oh, why does he investigate LeBron James? Well, those details haven't fully came out of that investigation that he was doing into LeBron James while he was playing at Cleveland with Kyrie Irving. Now, I don't know why he was investigating that time, but we're going to find out. Hopefully we will soon. But those are the different people and different investigation that he has been noted for. So when people was running their mouth, they would just sound like a bunch of fools and didn't know what the hell they was talking about. But let me say this. And I have the articles to back up what I just said. So if you guys want to see it. But let me say this. Kawhi Leonard, just retire. Steve Ballmer, you need to go ahead and get a team up. Go ahead, sell the team. Steve, they might be looking at a Fed situation after what was just released this morning. So I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Basically, now Pablo Torre has spun the block since, the Clippers owner came out here talking all this shit about he doesn't know nothing, this, that, and the third. Pablo Torre has now unveiled shocking new details just now in the Kawhi Leonard scandal, including financial documents, not talk, not innuendo, financial documents that show how the Clippers co-owner, Dennis Wong, the only minority co-owner that the Clippers have, and his name is Dennis Wong, right, invested in the failing company Aspiration the week before it owed Kawhi Leonard for his endorsement deal. The LA strippers are done. And Steve Ballmer, who is the most hands-on NBA owner, meticulous to the point, says he didn't know anything about any of this. He's toast. Let's get to it.
Gave him that much money.
Let me just repeat. I don't know how much money they gave him.
Well, in the court documents and in Pablo's podcast, they reported it was $28 million.
Pablo's podcast, I don't know anything about the court documents on this. I haven't seen them and I don't know. I'm not trying to be, I don't know. I really don't know.
I love the body language. So notice the way he was sitting. If you're the seventh richest person in the world, I think you can sit back and cross your legs. He was in the attack position.
He was as if he was in a gamer chair playing.
It's
2K
third quarter now. I gotta get serious.
Very skilled 13-year-old. But he's also responding in a real way, to what's been happening, what's been talked about, back-channeled around the league. And you're a former front office executive. You're a guy who talks to people. How would you characterize what the response has been?
Everyone's been some version of, this is pretty bad. Even the ones who say, well, this happens everywhere. Everyone acknowledges it never happens to this magnitude. When you're talking about the amount of money and the lack of any perceivable deliverable of any sort from Kawhi Leonard, that just doesn't happen. That part doesn't happen. Are there deals with team sponsors that are very lucrative and may include the language that, hey, if he gets traded or if he doesn't play here anymore, that ends the deal? Sure, but they all have some sort of deliverable that is tangible that people can see that we're getting value out of this. They're not just giving money away out of the kindness of
And
their
are
heart.
any of them $7 million per year?
This deal was $7 million a year, to David's point, multiples bigger than just standard normal rates. That this was bigger actually than his New Balance deal, his actual sneaker contract, which is kind of, I think, sufficiently eye-opening. I should also mention, though, that after this episode dropped, I confirmed something that the Boston Sports Journal reported, which makes the number more eye-opening by a kind of mind-blowing amount. So what was reported, what I have now confirmed, is that Aspiration granted Kawhi Leonard $20 million in stock in addition. This time, it was from Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg and Aspiration Growth Opportunities Partners, which is Sandberg's related venture capital fund. It's called AGO Partners. And I say all that to say, David, that it brings us to this week. It brings us to the fact that very conveniently, for our purposes, the NBA's Board of Governors, the owners, just finished their regularly scheduled meeting on Wednesday here in New York City at the St. Regis Hotel. And for people who don't know what the hell the Board of Governors meetings are, what are they?
It's when you get the 30 control people in a room and you get updates on the season is starting soon and here's what we're doing. Here's the plan. You may show a little hype up video congratulating the last champions, getting ready for the next season. And there's also updates on any outstanding legal issues. They will update legal cases that are going on so the owners get an idea and they're set way in advance. This didn't come up as a result of your show. This is set in it.
As we move on, now you're going to hear, ladies and gentlemen, what happened and why Kawhi Leonard and them is going to be found guilty, in my opinion, and they're toast. And I believe this thing is over with after they dropped this bombshell this morning. And I think you're going to wake up and all you dudes that was hating, talking about some more ticket, this is nothing, and all them other dudes, they're going to be crying. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I believe Kawhi Leonard's contract with the Clippers is going to be terminated. I believe Kawhi Leonard is going to be suspended at least for a year. I also believe that Steve Ballmer, the Clippers co-owners, the general manager, I believe they're all going to be banned from the National Basketball Association, and they may be asked, Clippers owner Steve Ballmer may be asked to step down and sell the team. And I believe it's this bad because the fans are involved. And now, when you had the federal investigation and it shows all of these other parts, now they're showing that the Clippers co-owner, David Wong, invested money when it was time to pay Kawhi Leonard, right before the day to pay Kawhi Leonard one of his payments. They're toast. They got paperwork, bro. It's over with, man. And this is a Fed case, too. Man, Pablo is doing the work. And I'm going to tell you why. Because guys like Kawhi Leonard, who want all the money, they say, and want to do the less work possible. I've been talking about this for years, and everybody been going against me because they like Kawhi Leonard. I don't give a damn about who you like. I give a damn about what's right and what's wrong. And this dude out here, he cheating the entire process. Meanwhile, you got dudes like Giannis, all these dudes getting hurt over and over, going through the grind, going through the process. They don't get no credit. All they do is get blasted by the fans. But this dude, he gets to do the most minimal work possible. And Kawhi Leonard is the biggest snake in NBA history. You won a championship with the Toronto Raptors and tried to trade those guys for Paul George. You a snake, boy. Let's keep going.
So I just got a sidebar here to acknowledge that David Sampson is right. We did not cause the Board of Governors to assemble this week. But what multiple sources did tell me is that the reporting on Pablo Torre finds out was the palpable subtext for the awkwardness and tension around an extremely conspicuous decision that Commissioner Adam Silver decided to make, which was to not discuss the investigation into Steve Ballmer out loud in front of the room of owners at any point. It is even more amusing when you also realize that Steve Ballmer also serves on the NBA's audit committee, by the way, in which his responsibility is to focus on financial transparency.
Wow. So Steve Ballmer is on the NBA's audit committee. How is that? How is that when he need to be audited? Make it make sense. Boy, the NBA is getting... Hey, shout out to Pablo Torre for exposing these bums. Let's keep going.
And communication. The silence in that big room pushed multiple irritated owners, I am told, into a series of private side chats over drinks between concessions, at the luncheon, at the St. Regis afterwards, about Kawhi's $28 million no-show contract and his $20 million in stocks. All of that adding up to $48 million.
$48 million they gave this bum Kawhi. Think about that, yo. Steve Ballmer invests $50 million. They give Kawhi $48 million.
$1 million in total value, and the $50 million that Steve Ballmer had personally invested into Aspiration, a company that Adam Silver said he had never heard of before, which set the stage for the commissioner's public press conference on Wednesday afternoon.
I mean, the amount of attention that this has commanded, certainly no one out there is saying, oh, this is just business as usual in the NBA. What's the big deal? This is what teams do when they want to sign players. People, in fact, the suggestion is this is highly aberrant behavior, and which is why in response to a podcast and some additional media reports, we brought in the big guns on the investigation, and no one...
And so I guess I should just say here that, yes, I personally am most biased in terms of I think this whole thing seems pretty cut and dry. And it's not just because I've talked to multiple NBA owners who effectively have told me the same thing, that the facts seem clear, but it's also because what it takes to prove cap circumvention, salary cap circumvention in the collective bargaining.
That's a key thing he just said. And this is why Kawhi Leonard, and especially the strippers owner, Steve Ballhead, is done. The owners are ticked. He's toast, bro. He's toast. I wouldn't be surprised if they forced him to sell the team, bro. He's toast, bro. And all them stripper fans that been talking shit about me for years behind my back, they'll have to bow down to somebody who's greater, nigga. Straight like that. Because like I said, the strippers always keep getting stripped down. Now let's keep going. Because more evidence that just came out is going to do them super dirty. And I'm happy. I'm ecstatic that Pablo is bringing this to the forefront.
Which has been characterized by Commissioner Adam Silver as a cardinal sin in the league. That also, according to the language, seems cut and dry in terms of what is useful for the league to consider. And so I just want to quote Article 13, Section 2 of the collective bargaining agreement with the NBA and its players under the heading, quote, no unauthorized agreements. It says, a violation may be proven by direct or circumstantial evidence, including but not limited to evidence that a player contract or any term or provision thereof cannot rationally be explained.
Game over.
End quote.
That's in the NBA bylaws. That's why I told y'all. Everybody keep talking about, oh, they ain't going to do nothing. Then you're a damn fool. Kawhi Leonard and them's over. But guess what, y'all? It's more evidence dropped against these bums. The co-owner is involved now. Let's go.
I had forgotten the last part, the cannot rationally be explained clause, but I mean...
Well, that's what the investigation's for.
David, what does that mean legally? Cannot rational. I think we understand what that means, but in a legal sense,
Yeah,
how do you prove
nothing? It's completely wishy-washy.
Right.
There is no legal threshold. Remember, we are not in a court of law.
Sir.
And let me say this. The best thing he did was get away from ESPN so he could do this type of full-time investigative journalism. Bust these bums wide open. All of them. Bust them open.
We're going to discipline a team, an owner, a player, or any of the constituents.
Yeah. See, because I'm gonna tell you something, Jamil. When I called him Kawhi, everybody got mad at me. I seen that shit from the beginning, and I called him Kawhi, and they all hated on me and got mad at me, wanted to ignore this shit. But I'm gonna be right. I knew I was right then, and you damn well better know I'm right now. As we standing right here, you better understand that I'm right about this, and I've been right about Kawhi. Before all these people said something, I told these people, this dude want to do the least possible and get the most he can get out of you. If that ain't a god-daggone absolute basketball thief, I don't know what is. Everybody talking about, he hurt, Ticket. Come on, man, shut up, nigga. Ain't nobody hurt that damn long. That man, in my opinion, he put D's on that shit. Straight like that. And I've been telling these dudes this for years. Meanwhile, collecting all them checks. And the year that his contract was on the line, and they actually made him earn it, guess what? He stopped load managing. He played every game. He's playing back-to-backs. As soon as they gave him his contract later that season, Kawhi Leonard stopped playing those games. He shut it down. And then I don't even think he played in the playoffs that year. He played maybe one, 2 games, and it was done for the rest of the playoffs. I told these dudes, bro. And then after that, he's been low managing ever since. How many games he played last year? So I don't told you guys. This man came back in the late part of the season last year. But wait, there's more. The Clippers are dumb, bro.
Good members of the league, I think as with any process that requires, a fundamental sense of fairness, the burden should be on the party that is, in essence, bringing those charges. I was only quasi-joking with someone earlier that, when people talk about a smoking gun, that's obviously circumstantial. It means the gun is still smoking. It must have recently fired. I'd say in the case of the league, we and our investigators look at the totality of the evidence. So
this is not criminal. This is not even civil. This is a violation of a collective bargaining agreement.
No, you're wrong. This is criminal, buddy, because the feds is involved. Because that organization was a scam organization, which defrauded people. So this is criminal, buddy. I don't know what the hell you think you're talking about. And the feds can look at this and look at Steve Ballmer funneling money, and they can start looking at taxes. They can start looking at potential tax evasion, all those things I told y'all the other day. They could be looking at funneling money illegally to a player. All that's Fed crimes. So Steve Ballhead, his ass could be up out of here for him, and Dennis Wong, all these chumps could be up out of here, bruh. Legally. That's the part y'all don't understand.
Actually means is that Wachtell Lipton will interview people with the Clippers,
The law firm that the NBA hired.
to do this investigation. It won't take a day. It won't take a week. It won't take a month. It'll take much longer. As you know, when you are the accused, the burden is on the accuser.
Yeah, we're
not the accused.
We're in podcast court now.
Dun, 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 dun. This is a defendant.
Steve Ballmer in the podcast justice system.
It is quite something to be in podcast court, because there's a word for it that we used to use. It's the court of public opinion.
Yes.
And the irony is the court of public opinion has no rules of evidence.
Right.
It has no judge.
The irony is that the court of public opinion is currently strewn with your peanuts. So I should say that Steve Ballmer, here for the historical review, was punished by the NBA in 2015 for attempting to circumvent the cap with DeAndre Jordan, who was a fraction of the player that Kawhi Leonard is in terms of the attention he received. Steve Ballmer's team and Uncle Dennis then got investigated for complaints about cap circumvention for Kawhi in 2019. The league reportedly found no evidence there that requests from Uncle Dennis for these secret sweeteners, ranging from partial ownership to guaranteed sponsorship money, were actually granted by the Clippers.
Right.
So Uncle Dennis, for the uninitiated, is Dennis Robertson. Uncle Dennis Robertson still has not responded to any of our requests for comment, just like Kawhi's agent, Mitch Frankel, has not. Although we should all acknowledge that we just read Bruce Arthur's article in Toronto Star that reported that Uncle Dennis has specifically, it turns out, requested 2 things. First, quote, ownership stakes in outside companies. You may now recall that whole little thing I did about AGO Partners and the $20 million in equity. And second, one of Bruce's sources recalled that Leonard's camp outlined its approach to the deal as...
Now, here's the thing. And you got to think about this. I want to say this before we move on. There's going to be a question, did Uncle Dennis ruin Kawhi Leonard's career? I believe so. I believe when we look at this at the end, we're all going to say, man, that dude, Uncle Dennis, man, he ruined Kawhi's career, man. And it's going to be all surrounded by alleged greed, in my opinion. Greed. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. If you're Uncle Dennis, why would you have to break the NBA rules to do something? Why not just go and see, this is why I'm going to tell y'all this. See, let me tell y'all something. Sponsors, for the most part, don't want part-time cats. They don't want guys who are not going to do nothing. A sponsor wants a guy who, first of all, they can promote, who's one of the best guys in the league as far as promotional-wise, and who they can make money off of. They don't want a guy just going to come around, take their money, and not do shit. Kawhi Leonard's team wanted money for doing nothing. Absolutely nothing is what they're being accused of. And that's what I've been telling y'all this the whole time throughout the whole basketball side. Now we're hearing about this through the endorsement side, right? Because think about this, y'all. Why not just go through the regular channels and get regular endorsements? If you wanted all this money, if you're Uncle Dennis, why not? Why you have to keep going through the teams trying to force them to go allegedly go and get endorsement deals with these other illegal endorsement deals with their companies they have contacts with for y'all not to do nothing. It makes no sense. Why not use Kawhi's agent and go get y'all regular endorsement deals outside of the team to get them? You know why? Because nobody wants to sign a bum that's not going to do shit and not going to bring no value to their company. New Balance is doing it, but what is Kawhi Leonard doing for New Balance? Is New Balance selling any Kawhis? Have y'all seen anybody out here wearing Kawhis? So don't know about people that are wasting their money. And I'm gonna tell y'all again, and Ty Campbell, this is not a channel for hate for a black man. This is a channel that I hate people who shit on other people. I hate people who take shortcuts. I hate people like Steve Ballhead who come out here, and I'm gonna say this again. You said, can I speak on men and black men in a positive way? Go look at my video last night how I spoke about Carmelo Anthony, you punk bitch. Go look at my video every other day how I speak about Kyrie Irving, you rat-faced bastard. How about you go look at that, Ty Campbell? Get off your knees, nigga. Talking that fake ass and take that fist and stick it where the sun don't shine, nigga. Period. Don't come in here with that talk, boy. You must not watch my channel, sucker. You'll get mad at me, but you won't go get mad at Tariq Nasheed that'll sit up here and talk shit about Carmelo Anthony, but run over there to Zaddy, DJ Vlad every other day when he disrespect black folks all the time, and then he pop shit and apologize and throw some money at them niggas and have them come sit on his show every day. Sit your ass down, dog. Funky ass. Don't make me start to get to really cooking, nigga. Cause I'll cook presidential style in here. And I ain't talking about Trump, nigga. Straight like that. Don't come in here playing them games with me, dog. You want to talk about somebody, go talk about that. Go talk about how DJ Vlad got these punks in his pocket. He can say anything he want. Disrespect the minister, disrespect all these other people. All he got to do is come back and give an apology, throw these niggas some money, and they be back on his podcast tomorrow. Get your ass out of here, bro. You don't want no smoke with me, nigga. None. And I'm going to keep stir-frying Kawhi because he's a fucking lie, period. And I said that shit from the beginning, and I'm going to say it now. And all you stripping-ass stripper fans going to get cooked with him. Him and Steve Ballhead. Like I said before. You got James Harden. At least James Harden go out there and play every game. You see James Harden out there in China doing all his promotional stuff. That's the one thing I can say about it. And you know what? I argue with Atlantean all these years about James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. At least James Harden will at least be out there on the goddamn court. He don't like to miss games. This dude, the way they've lined it up, he want all the money without doing none of the work. Make it make sense. Y'all dudes is clowns, man. And y'all get this shit a pass, bro. Cause y'all, like I said, y'all clowns. Y'all don't have no respect or integrity for the game. All these other dudes on these other teams that's fighting through the grind, fighting out here to get it done and have to do it the right way because they don't have an owner who could just break all the rules like they want. I mean, think about this shit. Kawhi Leonard won a championship with the Raptors, and the Raptors told him, bro, we can't break the rules, man. Think about that. They say he wanted the Raptors to break the rules. Then he went to the Lakers like, yo, we want y'all to break the rules. Nah, we can't do that, Kawhi. Think about that. But the good old strippers, doing what they always do, getting stripped down in front of the world. Let's keep going. Come on my channel, talking about some black talk, man. Take that fist and stick it up your, man. Get out of my face, bro.
End quote. Meaning it was a non-starter for Kawhi to be asked to do anything in exchange for the money.
Right. It was a non-starter for Kawhi to be asked to do anything for the money that they was giving him as sponsorship. If you ask Kawhi to do something, hey, Kawhi, come over here and promote this. Nah, man, I ain't promoting shit. Just give me the money. Bro, are you serious? Like, bro, he deserves to get out of here, bro. He's living scum in that, if that's true. If that's true, he's NBA scum. He deserves no place in NBA history. Lazy dude. You talking about lazy. On all ends.
That they believed they deserve. And so here we are again. The Clippers are being investigated the third time in 10 years.
But we're in the podcast court.
Yeah. Clippers being investigated for the third time for this type of shit in the last 10 years. That's unheard of. Right? And I hope they get all them stripping ass owners up out of here, man.
We are not in the true legal system. So Wachtell Lipton is not all that interested in what happened with DeAndre Jordan. They're not going to
cap. They're gonna look at all these type of situations. This dude right here don't know what the hell he's talking about. That dude on Pablo's show don't know what the hell he's talking about. They're gonna look at all that shit, bro. What is you talking about? When they come lay the hammer on them, all these dudes gonna come back acting like they surprised. They're gonna look at everything. Trust me. These are the same owners that got. I mean, these are the same company that got Robert Sarver, and they got the owner before Steve Ballhead out of there. Donald Sterling. They're the same ones who did the investigations that got them two bums out of the league. What do you think? And you got all the other owners mad at them too? Man, them dudes gone, man.
spend $1, though. They'd love to spend $1 and bill $2 looking into what happened with DeAndre Jordan, but they're not. This is a separate incident that will be looked at in its entirety separately.
Well, that's for their investigation, but ultimately, the judge is Judge Silver.
That's what I'm curious
And so
about.
he has knowledge of the recidivism, of the repeat offenses, and he will
Allegedly.
almost certainly take that into account in the same way that Draymond Green gets suspended a little bit longer with every additional outburst.
And that's another thing. And I'm happy he said that shit. They suspend Draymond Green for anything he do based off his history. And his suspensions get more and more, and his fines get more and more heavier because of reputation. Clippers got to get the death penalty on this.
Because of the pattern of behavior.
Which is all to say that what Steve Ballmer wants everybody to know is much like playing against Draymond Green in a game. This whole thing has been a real kick in the nuts.
Now, should I have sniffed it out? Maybe. I feel embarrassed and kind of silly that I didn't sniff it out, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. I made the investment. A lot of other smart investors didn't sniff it out either. It's also true I've made a bunch of bad business deals and investments in my life, and I've made some good ones. This was fraud and a bad investment, and I'm embarrassed by that.
The thing I keep thinking here
Now, peep this. He said this was fraud. So he knew the company was fraud. If they prove that he knowingly funneled that money through a fraudulent company, that puts him in the Fed. That puts him in Fed trouble. Him and Kawhi. I try to tell y'all this. Y'all ain't gonna listen to me. You gonna listen today.
David is chewing on more peanuts is that two things can actually be done at once.
Right.
Podcast and eat peanuts. Steve Ballmer could have been misled by Aspiration's master of deception, while also trusting Aspiration to help his Los Angeles Clippers help Uncle Dennis deceive the NBA. That, if anything, is the view I bring to what we're about to do here today.
Okay.
So
I don't want to say a word because it will only delay what we're
we're
supposed
caught
to be
up.
doing here.
Everybody's caught up.
All right.
We're in the present tense. And at this point, David, get your hand off the folder for
Get
one
a
last
Pablo.
time because we need to go back in time.
Oh,
Okay?
Here we go.
We're going back in time to a critical moment in Steve Ballmer's relationship with Kawhi Leonard and Aspiration that I have not yet discussed with you guys. And I did not appreciate it myself until it hit me, kind of like an apple falling from a tree, as it were. And you're going to get hit with it too after the break.
It's like a game show.
Unlock your stage select.
Now, we get into this part right here, y'all. And this part is the part where this is gonna bury Kawhi now. I mean, this gonna be all over the news today. Y'all are waking up to hear this right now, but this part I'm about to play y'all is gonna be all over the news today. It's gonna end Kawhi. Watch. Y'all just hearing it here first. Watch.
The month is December. The year is 2022. So you may recall that Kawhi Leonard is back from his torn ACL. He's now tearing up the Boston Celtics in December of 22. I just need to establish that you may recall that in the last episode we did, I convinced an anonymous source in Aspiration's finance department to go on tape. A condition that we use what?
Voice modulation.
Which I granted because of the ongoing parallel investigations by the DOJ and the FBI and the SEC and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
I tell y'all the SEC, DOJ, the FBI, all of them involved. And these clowns on YouTube thinking this shit ain't serious. Bro, they're idiots, bro. It's a new food every single day. Let's keep going.
Of otherwise known as the CFTC, and I want to respect just the sensitivity of the fact that this is a giant national scandal involving one of the richest people on the planet. All of which is to say that for this episode, what we're about to do here involves the product of the vetting and fact-checking and persuading that I spent time doing with another source, who I convinced to separately talk to me about December 2022. And they agreed.
He has another source. So another source have come out and is whistleblowing on Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballhead. Now let's get to it.
Same conditions.
I was a very senior executive in finance. I was also painfully aware of the fact that the contract between Kawhi and Aspiration was to circumvent the salary cap. I too brought that up with some of the more senior executives at the firm who were also aware of this fact.
Kawhi's done. The owner's done. They got two whistleblowers that have came publicly now. They told show. And when that company, you know, they're going to interview, and the Fed's going to interview all those employees, and they're going to get their paperwork and stuff like that. Y'all might see them motherfuckers in handcuffs because they tried to cheat. And this is what happens when you try to cheat the game and you get your hand caught in that cookie jar and you get hit on a Fed charge. Fed, SEC, and the DOJ investigating this shit. Nah, man, you're not finna beat that shit, man. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's too much smoke. It's too much smoke. They have actual employees from Aspiration that's snitching. Let's keep listening to what he said.
And much like many of the very senior executives at Aspiration, I had to spend a lot of time having conversations with some federal agencies about some of what was happening inside of Aspiration.
Done. Did y'all hear that? He said he had to spend a lot of time having conversations with federal agencies about what was going on inside Aspiration. Them niggas, bro, listen, forget Kawhi Leonard's basketball career. This motherfucker might be in cuffs. Him and Steve Ballhead. They might be in cuffs. Y'all think this is a game. This is a, and everybody talking about watch Adam Silver give a slap on the wrist. No, he won't. Adam Silver just said yesterday, everything's on the table. You didn't hear what he just said yesterday? He knows what it is because this is a federal investigation as well. So you're talking about violations with the SEC, violations against the FBI and the Department of Justice involved. Bro, you talking about a $248 million scam that the man admitted to. The dude that they were invested with, Sandsberg from Aspiration, he admitted to his role. They got snitches. These are snitches that are coming on the podcast for Pablo Torre that work for Aspiration that are saying, yeah, we saw it. We were told to be quiet. What do you think's going to happen when the feds go investigate them? All these people being quiet now because they don't know what the hell to say. But they're going to be, if you listen to me and what the hell I'm telling you, I told you this shit from the very beginning.
And I also just got to say thank you to you, original source number one, because when you came on the show the first time, no one had any idea what we were doing. Now you've had the experience of listening to other people listen to your voice modulated self. And could you clarify?
And I want y'all to think about this before he say that. Think about, why wouldn't Kawhi, ask yourself this question. If Kawhi Leonard just wanted all these endorsement deals and that's it, why wouldn't Kawhi just have his agent go get him more endorsements? You know why? Who the hell wants to pay a dude like Kawhi Leonard who has no charisma? Who the hell wants to pay a dude like Kawhi Leonard who has no personality? Who the hell wants to pay a guy like Kawhi Leonard who is not a marketable person? Who the hell wants to keep paying a guy like Kawhi Leonard who doesn't want to do no work? Think about that. What other? He got sponsors by New Balance, not Nike, not Adidas, not McDonald's, not none of them top major multi-million-dollar companies. But all of a sudden, a company we never heard of comes to get this man $48 million to do nothing and a sponsorship deal. Fuck out of here, man. And the reason why, this is why alleged greedy ass Uncle Dennis had to go and hold up teams. He had to try to use Kawhi's ability to play basketball, right? And this is why I told y'all my whole thought process was Kawhi in his whole career. I believe they know that weak-knee chump couldn't make it if he had to really play like he was supposed to play. I think they tried to stretch it out and get as many max contract deals as they can. I believe, me personally, I believe that they're playing lesser games so that Kawhi Leonard's career could be longer and they can get more checks. And then what I believe that Uncle Dennis does is he goes through these NBA teams and tries to hold them up and go and use them as the conduit to funnel Kawhi Leonard more money. That's what I believe. Knowing because ain't no regular sponsor just gonna keep doing that. Period. So I just go to tell the team, hey man, if y'all want my nephew, bro, you gonna have to find a way to get him a lot more money. Use your sponsorships y'all got, and I mean, you want to pay him through that, do that. I'm just telling y'all, bro. Think about what I just said to y'all. LeBron James, he don't need that. LeBron James is marketable. He had a $100 million contract from Nike off the jump. $100 million. He ain't got to question that. He gonna do the promotional work. Same thing with Kevin Durant. Same thing with other real superstars in the league who got real names who are marketable. Them dudes go out there and get them $100 million. Zion came out. What he get? Damn near $100 million deal. See what I'm saying? Kawhi can't do that. Don't nobody give a damn about Kawhi on that level. He can't do that. So what I'm saying to you is this. This is the greed. I'm telling y'all, bro. That greed is definitely going to destroy their ass. I'm telling y'all this. And y'all going to see they're going to hit them niggas with the sonic boom. I believe they're going to ban Uncle Dennis for life. I believe he come. I'm telling y'all. Anybody want to put their money up, I believe Uncle Dennis going to get a lifetime ban from being around any NBA circle. He's already done. Whether y'all know it or not, Uncle Dennis already done. Ain't nobody else dealing with that dude no more. He might can listen. They can send it to him right now, take a picture, nigga.
Whether you have also been interviewed by federal agencies in the course of their investigation into Aspiration.
Yes, I have.
Yep. So the snitch says I've been interviewed by the feds. I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all this? Didn't I tell y'all? Now, I want y'all to think about this. If the snitch that was in the company, the whistleblower, if he told Pablo this on the podcast about Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballhead and them, what you think he told the feds? Y'all niggas is crazy. The feds gonna come clean this shit up, man. And this what happens when you start getting into that realm of doing shit that could be illegal. Man, you talking about money fraud? Alleged shit like that? Man, ain't no way.
What was December 2022 like inside of Aspiration as you personally experienced it?
Show. December 2022, the company had virtually no income, no pipeline of clients.
2022, the company Aspiration had no income, no clients. Let's keep listening. I want y'all to listen closely because now it's going to expose the assistant or the co-owner of the Clippers and what he allegedly did, and they got proof of. Boy, this shit is over with, man. This shit bigger than the Carter.
Was really looking like it wasn't going to be able to make payroll. The ship was sinking. It was just a matter of how long we could hold on.
Now, he said the ship was sinking. It was just a matter of how long we could hold on. So they knew the company was going under in 2022, right? 2022, right? Now, I'm gonna play that one part for y'all one more time because I want y'all to hear what the whistle. This is what he already told the feds. Now listen to this. It's over with, man.
Really looking like it wasn't going to be able to make payroll. The ship was sinking. It was just a matter of how long we could hold on. And we ended up doing 2 rounds of layoffs. The first round was in the first week of December, where a bunch of very high-level executives got laid off. The president, the general counsel, some C-suite, and then...
That's easily provable. So he said it was so bad, they had 2 rounds of layoffs of high-level executives. So they had no money in this company in December 2022, and they were laying people off. Think about this. This is all provable in the records. You understand what I'm saying? So listen to what he said happened next, y'all. So if they got no money, and they allege, I told y'all it was alleged, and Uncle Dennis was calling when they had no money, making sure, hey man, y'all better make sure Kawhi got his money. He better get his payments. Now listen. I want y'all to listen, because there's paperwork behind this shit, and that's why I tell you, capping ass niggas, don't ever come against me, nigga.
The second round of layoffs, which was in the second week of December, was almost 20% of the entire staff. So about 100 people were laid off. I mean, to say it was bleak is a
100 people laid off. Let's keep going.
understatement. And I asked a lawyer, given the scenario of the company and what I'm seeing on a daily basis and the literal lack of cash in the company, what do I need to do to protect myself? I didn't want to have exposure if these numbers, as I had and as a lot of other executives I was speaking to had suspected, were not 100% accurate. I literally did retain a law firm, and I was sending emails to other people in the C-suite, letting them know that unless I saw certain things.
And that's the crazy part, is those emails. When they investigate this guy and they follow his statements, all they gotta do is check his emails to see if he told the truth. Emails ain't going nowhere. He said he sent the emails in December 2022 about this shit, bro. Bro, quiet them niggas. Y'all niggas keep capping for a weak-kneed, capping ass, lying ass dude and a bald head dude that's running around here always hooting and hollering and screaming like he on crunk juice. And Steve Ballhead. Let's keep going.
On paper, I was unable to proceed with bringing in these investors.
The last sentence is what's interesting to me. They're out trying to find money. So when you're a company and your revenues are being outgunned by your expenses, you've got two choices. One, you can lower your expenses, or two, you can increase your revenues. In the absence of either of those, you got to go three, and that's going to the capital markets. You can take money off a credit card. That's the crudest way to do it. You can borrow money at those usurious interest rates, or you can go to a bank and try to get a line of credit. You can get a bridge loan from a bank, which is you borrow money to make payroll until your next revenue payment comes, and then you pay that bridge loan back. You can get long-term financing from a bank, sometimes a bank of ill repute, and it just depends what interest rate you pay. So you have to go through all of those options, which I assume Aspiration did.
So they badly needed money. People that we talked to, the one news source number 2, is saying that they didn't feel comfortable asking others for money given what they were learning about the company behind the scenes. These are the people, by the way, who cooperated with the federal agencies. Just give people a sense of like who's talking to me. This company, to summarize what our two sources now have told us on tape, September 2022 was fucked. So, for instance, here's another thing that happened in October of 2022, right? So this is by Q4 of 2022, the week before the NBA season started. There was a Bloomberg headline out in public that everybody could see about how Andre Cherny, Aspiration's co-founder, CEO, the guy who had signed and executed Kawhi's secret no-show endorsement deal right next to Kawhi's signature, had resigned from the company. Now, briefly, imagine you're the Clippers. Imagine you're the team that Amin is wearing on his chest in December 22. In September of 21, you will recall vividly, Steve Ballmer had announced Aspiration as the thing on their chest. Their jersey patch sponsor, right? The first founding partner of the Intuit Dome. Aspiration agreed to pay, do you remember? More than $300 million to the Clippers in sponsorship money over 23 years. Even what you now heard about December 22, spoiler alert, that didn't exist. What's clear, though, is that inside of Aspiration, according to my 7 sources, as well as Aspiration's internal cash forecast, sponsorship payments, which is a spreadsheet I obtained that you, David, now get to review in your mystery folder there. You can get it
Now? You have the cash flow of Aspiration?
It's the cash forecast for sponsorship payments. Don't read it out loud yet. So the smoking gun question we're all contemplating. It's the thing that I think I have uncovered that we're about to learn about.
Listen.
I think it's what the NBA just hired a very high-powered law firm to search for. Because by the end of 2022, one of the company's absolute top priorities, despite the total financial show enveloping this company, was simple. Pay KL to Aspire LLC.
He's done. That nigga is done. That nigga is done. He's done. Play it now. Let's keep going. Steve Ballmer, go ahead, man. Get your handcuffs ready, Steve Ballhead. Your ass is going to prison, boy.
David, what is it marked there on the cash forecast that Aspiration was internally using to make its sponsorship payments?
It is marked critical.
Critical. Yeah. They have it on paper.
Because in Kawhi Leonard's 4-year secret endorsement deal with this fraudulent company, which is now on the express train to bankruptcy, Kawhi's $7 million annual salary for doing absolutely nothing needed to be paid quarterly.
Right.
Okay? 4 $1.75 million installments.
Think about this. Quarterly. So Kawhi got 4 $1.5 million 7-part installments. Think about this, y'all. Listen to what he just said once again. It's very important y'all listen, because y'all gonna hear about the new information he just got up. Now listen to y'all. Listen.
$1 million annual salary for doing absolutely nothing needed to be paid quarterly. Okay? 4 $1.75 million installments.
4 $1.75 million installments had to be paid, right? To Kawhi Leonard. To Kawhi Leonard. Listen now. Listen. Now watch. Now listen to this next part. This is where they're done. Boy, this boy Pablo did the whole investigation. The NBA didn't even have to hire no firm. Listen to this, y'all.
The first installment, $1.75 million, due in June of 22. The second, $1.75 million installment, due in September. The third, $1.75 million installment, due in December. But I mean, Aspiration had a problem. What do you think the problem was about making those payments?
They had the money.
Have any cash?
According to this Green Bank's Silicon Valley bank statements, which I have acquired and confirmed, and have in the
This boy got the bank statements, y'all. Man, this nigga, hey, y'all niggas still ignoring this. Y'all niggas is yellow journalists, and y'all need to drop y'all mic, nigga. Don't even talk basketball. Don't talk nothing no more. I'm talking to every last one of y'all. Don't even talk about nothing no more. Because this shit right here is in the open, man. Period, bruh. Period. This dude get to walk around here allegedly cheat the whole game on every level possible. Basketball wise, on the goddamn, on the outside wise, and everybody out here criticizing other people. And y'all wonder why. Y'all wonder why. Come on, man.
folder in front of you, I mean, when does Aspiration send that first wire to Kawhi Leonard, and how much is it? It is due in June 22.
Now, listen, y'all. It's about to get real. It's about to get real. So, remember, they didn't have no money. They had to pay $1.7 million quarterly payments to Kawhi without no money. Now, listen now. This right here is the one that's gonna end Kawhi, and Steve Ballhead gonna have to get rid of the team and take his ass directly to jail.
When does Aspiration send that first wire to Kawhi Leonard, and how much is it? It is due in June 22. What do you have in front of you there?
July 6, 2022. Wire out to KL2 Aspire LLC, $1.75 million.
Right now, hold on, y'all, because y'all know me. Everybody in here, just throw your hands in the air and wave it like you just don't care. Right now, what I'm gonna do for y'all is I'm gonna do what Pablo Noriega, the real Noriega, he owed me 100 favors. I'm gonna do y'all a solid. I'm gonna put this shit on the screen. I'm gonna put it on the screen just so niggas can see the paperwork, and you know the paperwork is real. So you know the paperwork is real. I'm put on the screen, y'all. Let's put this on the screen, everybody, right now, because I need y'all to see this. I need y'all to feel me. They can hear me, but they can't feel me though. They can hear me, but they can't feel me though, y'all. Right? So let me put this on the screen for y'all. Right now. Boy, this is bad, man. Boy. They going to prison. They going to prison. Oh, yeah, Steve Ballmer, you out of here, dog. Let's keep going, man. I'll blow sheesh right in your face. Y'all see the paperwork on the screen? Oh, we got a paperwork party around here. We ain't just talking. See, they ain't gonna do this. Listen, They're not going to. This is real journalism. This isn't the easy videos where we just talk shit about LeBron James every day. Nah, this one you got to really get deep, do some real research. And everybody keep talking about, hey man, why don't they investigate LeBron James? Hey, y'all got channels. Why don't y'all investigate LeBron James? Because we've done this for years. We've done this for years. Let's keep going.
Is late.
To Aspire LLC, $1.75 million.
So the first payment, David, is late of this critical priority deal.
Right on your screen.
Doesn't arrive until July 2022. Not encouraging in terms of the launching of this business relationship. Likewise, your folders will include Aspiration's September and October bank statements for your review. You may now look at that. This is when the next $1.75 million is due to be wired. And spoiler alert,
There is no transaction involving KL2 Aspire LLC.
I mean, I'm gonna do you a favor and tell you that I didn't see that either on the statement you have in your hand. Look, the lateness of these payments, right? So September was supposed to be the second payment. There was nothing there. October comes and goes. And Kawhi Leonard is now playing NBA basketball for the Los Angeles Clippers and not getting paid by Aspiration.
Not getting paid.
And so now we're in November.
Let's
So
go.
I just ask you guys to imagine now, what do you think Uncle Dennis or anybody in his shoes would be feeling during this time as this contract was not getting paid and was now running?
Oh, you know Uncle Dennis was red hot. Now let's talk about what Uncle Denny then did. Let's go. I told y'all, everybody gonna be, after this is over with, they all gonna be talking about that Uncle Dennis, was he a sleazebag that used his own nephew for his own greed and brought his own nephew career down? That's gonna be what people ask after this shit is over with. Did a sleazy uncle use his nephew's basketball potential to get himself rich? That's what people gonna be asking. A lot of people talk shit about Uncle Dennis, about all his little schemes and shit that he's done over the years, allegedly.
Perpetually.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he was very calm and rational and didn't pick up the phone and call them a million times, banging down the door trying to find out where the money is.
Which is all to say that Uncle Dennis was pissed.
So in all fairness to Uncle Dennis, he's not the only one who's calling trying to get paid. There's a huge freeze because there's no money to be spent. So from the finance team's perspective, we feel like we're on the other end of collections calls. People are constantly coming in asking for their money. Between those months when all of this is missing, so September, October, November, and leading up to December, the actual certainty of the company even existing is for grabs at that point. Are we going to get paid as employees? Why does Uncle Dennis keep calling us? We have such bigger concerns that we're thinking about, which is our own salaries. Are we going to have to go?
He said Uncle Dennis kept calling their ass. You don't think he told that shit to the feds? Man, them niggas is toast. The worker at Aspire, the employee said that Uncle Dennis kept calling them pissed off that he wasn't getting that cheese. So now y'all finna hear what happened. Boy, hey man, listen man. Hey, stripping ain't easy, baby.
Layoffs. Where's the money going to come from? But lo and behold, Uncle Dennis gets paid.
David Sampson, former president of the Marlins, please tell us when exactly Aspiration finally does wire their months late second payment to Kawhi Leonard.
December 15th.
December 15th. So December 15th, after Uncle Dennis, they said was calling, complaining about not getting his bread off his nephew Kawhi, they finally got another payment from a company that was bankrupt, that was fraudulent, didn't have no money. They finally got their cheese. Let me put this on the screen, because y'all know evidence is something that you always want to have. Evidence is something that we always want to have, ladies and gentlemen. Evidence. Now let's look at the evidence right here. So you see that date right there. But look at this one that I'm getting ready to put on your screen. Right now, 12/15/2022. They got paid. It's all in the paperwork, baby. Boy, somebody going to prison, nigga. Somebody going to prison. Let's keep going.
2-1 exactly. Aspiration finally does wire their month late second payment to Kawhi Leonard.
December 15th of 2022, 1.75 million.
So this payment was made December 15th, 2022. When was the 20% of the staff laid off?
The same day.
The same day.
Do you have any idea?
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? The same day they paid Kawhi Leonard, they laid off 20% of their staff. Lord Jesus have mercy. It's all being exposed to the public. It's all being exposed. Listen to it again, y'all. Listen again. This shit is too good. This Kawhi Leonard story, bro, I try to tell y'all, these motherfuckers running from this, boy, this is one of the biggest. See, it always be them quiet ones. You know how they say it always be the quiet girls that be the freakiest? Boy, it always, man, I'm trying to tell y'all this. Kawhi fooled all these niggas because he's silent. So everybody thought just because of that, he wasn't a snake. He wasn't none of this shit. Nah, man. No, man. Nah, man. And Steve Ballhead and them went right for the hook, line, and sinker.
1.75 million.
So this payment was made December 15th, 2022. When was the 20% of the staff laid off?
The same day.
Oh.
Say it again.
Leonard.
December 15th of 2022, 1.75 million.
So this payment was made December 15th, 2022. When was the 20% of the staff laid off?
The same day.
Oh.
That deflated O.
There's a lot of deflation in December 22, in fact. But the thing I want to answer with you guys here is the deeply underrated question of how Aspiration finally paid Kawhi Leonard his second ever payment.
Right. See, this is where Steve Ballhead going to prison. How in the blue hell? How in the blue hell? Let me say this again. How in the blue hell did they pay Kawhi and they didn't even have money to pay their own employees or anybody else? How did they pay Kawhi? They didn't have, think about this. This is the first payments. They were late already. Uncle Dennis is going crazy. They didn't have money to pay their own employees. They laid off 100 employees the same day Kawhi Leonard got this second payment, December the 15th, 2022. Now listen, this is where the criminal activity comes in. Now let's get to this. Let's get to this right here.
On December 15th, 2022. So Amin, I'm going to point you back to the December bank statement, which you have in front of you, from Aspiration's checking account. You may notice something that I noticed as you scan that, because something happened just 9 days before the wire out to Kawhi's KL2 Aspire.
Say that again. Now look at this. 9 days before Kawhi Leonard got that payment from this company that had already been bankrupt, that had laid off 100 employees. 20% of his employees, the same day Kawhi got paid, they laid off 100 employees allegedly. Look what happened 9 days before that. You know what happened 9 days before that, y'all? Wait for it.
Because something happened just 9 days before the wire out to Kawhi's KL2 Aspire LLC for $1.75 million on
Oh, shit. You know what happened, you guys?
December 15th.
On December 6th of 2022, a wire in.
On December the 6th of 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-hoo-hoo! They got a wire of money. Just enough money to pay Kawhi Leonard Y'all gonna keep making excuses for this bum. Y'all gonna keep making excuses for this bum. Huh? Leased all over the effing league, man. You got players out here putting it down. Them niggas running around here talking about he better than Giannis and all these other dudes. He ain't, nigga. He ain't. Take him out of the top 75. Take Steve Ballhead out of the goddamn NBA ownership league. And the sad part about it is they traded Shea. And Shea went and won a championship before these bums. They traded Shea, lost all those picks, and Shea went and won a championship without a super team before these bums. The irony. The irony. The irony. And they ain't got shit from Kawhi. Only thing he done is taking their money and set his ass on that bench most of the time. But ladies and gentlemen, watch this part right here. Look right there. 9 days before. 9 days. On the 6th. 12/6/2022. Look on the left-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. There was a wire in. Follow the money, Lebowski. The wire they got in. Aspiration was for $1.999999.59 million. Kawhi was owed $1.7 million. And they got a wire for $1.99999, basically $2 million. Now, ladies and gentlemen, who in the blue hell you think made that payment, funneled that money to make sure that Kawhi and his greedy ass uncle, allegedly, from what people say, got that bread? Let's see. Let's see.
On December 6th of 2022, a wire in from DEA 88 Investments in the amount of $1,999,999.59.
So 1.99 million comes in 9 days before Kawhi Leonard is scheduled to get paid amid the total collapse of the economic premise of this entire company. Here's what's even stranger. According to our review of Aspiration's cap table and bank statements, there is no evidence that prior to December 6th, 2022, DEA 88 Investments, LP, had ever invested in Aspiration before.
Wow, great work, Torre. So look at that little yellow bar, y'all. Right under where it says wire in. It says the transaction date. Then it says description. And it says wire in. Never before this date had DEA 88 Investments LP invested in this company. But 9 days before Kawhi Leonard was supposed to get paid, somehow all of a sudden, there's a wire of right under $2 million just to make sure Kawhi gets paid. But ladies and gentlemen, wait. Oh, there's more, baby. Smash the like button as y'all come on in here too and share this video. Oh, we stepping on the LA strippers. Guess who owns DEA 88 Investments LP? Shit's deeper than rap. Let's go.
Which I also confirmed with my sources, which means that DEA 88 Investments LP chose to invest that precise amount while this company was basically sinking into the ocean. And so given all of this, I said to myself, should probably look up the registered agent on file for DEA 88 Investments LP. And it turned out to be a man named Dennis.
A man named Dennis. But not Uncle Dennis. No. Not Uncle Dennis. Uncle Dennis is the one who greedy ass allegedly wanted all the money. No. There's another Dennis. There's another Dennis, baby. This is great investigation work, bro. And people say, hey, man, this is important. Man, motherfuckers going to prison, nigga. Period. You understand what I'm saying? I want to make sure y'all understand that, right? You motherfuckers going to prison, right? I hope y'all understand that, right? Prison, nigga. Prison. 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 And ladies and gentlemen, I want to say something else to y'all, too. This shit is all over the news this morning. I know y'all think I'm lying. This shit is all over the New York Times this morning. It's all over the New York Times. It's all over the Athletic. Kawhi Leonard is done. He's done, bro. Dennis Wong. And for you guys who don't want to listen to what I have to say, don't worry about it. If I owe you, then I'm at your spot making it even. I break it in 3 in. Right? I break it in 3 in. Ladies and gentlemen, didn't I tell you punks that all these frauds gonna get exposed? Cold heart. I never got cold feet when the pressure come, nigga. Y'all already know this. When the pressure come, my game step up to an all-world level, baby. And I want y'all to see this when I'm about to put on y'all screen. Crazy work. Crazy work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, now you know. The man who owns DEAAA Investments LP is none other than the co-owner of the Los Angeles Strippers, Dennis Wong. That man right there on your screen. That is the man who paid the $1.9999999 million to Aspiration days before Kawhi Leonard got his payment. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to believe me. It's all over the Athletic this morning. And it's all over the New York Times this morning. Aspiration paid Kawhi Leonard days after investment by the Clippers minority owner. Now, all you bum ass niggas that was hating on me, nigga, get on your knees and bow down to somebody that's greater, you punk ass bitch. Paperwork party, nigga. And bald head Steve Ballmer, oh yeah, he's out of here. Let's keep going. It gets deeper than that. It gets deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap.
Dennis Robertson?
Not Uncle Dennis, a different Dennis.
Another Dennis.
Dennis Wong.
Oh.
Dennis Wong, or different Dennis, is a fascinating character. Different Dennis, the guy who paid $1.99 million to Aspiration 9 days before Aspiration paid $1.75 million to Kawhi Leonard, on the same day Aspiration laid off 20% of its staff, is this Dennis. Not Uncle Dennis, but the Dennis seen breaking ground on Intuit Dome in 2021 in a COVID mask off to the side of Steve Ballmer in this video, which we played in episode 1, no less than 5 feet from Kawhi Leonard. He, in fact, is the Dennis in this other video we have, who is literally in the shadow of Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballmer in hard hats at the Intuit Dome construction site.
Game over. Now, where is Mark Cuban's laughing somewhere? Because Mark Cuban knows what he did. He's laughing his ass off. He knows it's over with for Steve Ballmer. Death penalty, nigga.
There it is.
He's got a jersey?
He's got a jersey and a hard hat with his name on it.
Oh, my God.
He, in fact, is the Dennis you can find sitting courtside right next to Steve Ballmer, as in this photograph.
Oh, man.
It's over with, y'all. But it keeps going. The Kawhi story is bigger than the 30 for 30. But they don't want to talk about that. They want to ignore that because they like Kawhi. It's all about, like Kwame Brown said, it's all about who you like. It's all about who you like, bro. It's all. They even hit this nigga with a whole Rico, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Kawhi Leonard, and all his greedy ass uncle, greedy. It's legal for you to go get sponsorships, but to go through the team, to have them to funnel money through these to pay you, bro. These dudes, and then go through a fraudulent company, ass clowns.
Our different Dennis is the vice chairman of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Oh, come on, man.
He is the one and only limited partner, in fact, of the team. This has not been reported previously, but Steve Ballmer, the richest owner in all of sports, by far, has a very strange arrangement with his ownership group. Because the ownership group is Steve Ballmer owning 99%,
Right.
and Dennis J. Wong owning 1%, and that's it.
That's it.
That's current.
That is today. Dennis J. Wong is the alternate governor of the Los Angeles Clippers. He is the guy that Steve Ballmer empowers to attend the Board of Governors meeting when Steve Ballmer can't make it.
Can I just repeat it in a way that
1,000 lashes, y'all. 1,000 lashes. This dude, Kawhi Leonard, man, his whole career is basically a fraud. I try to tell these dudes. I told niggas, but I said it before. All these niggas said it. Before Pablo came around, I said his name is Kawhi 5 years ago. And they got mad at me. Said I was hating. But one thing about the truth, it can never be denied or rejected. Ever. And it always finds a way. One way or another. It always finds a way to come out.
uses my brain the way it's Rolodexing at the moment? Are you saying that the 1% limited partner of the Los Angeles Clippers, who is the vice chairman of the Clippers, made an independent decision to invest in Aspiration for this first time in his own name or his own entity's name, 9 days before Kawhi Leonard got paid when no one else was getting paid?
I'm saying that is exactly what happened. And I'm also saying that you should probably know that Dennis J. Wong was also Steve Ballmer's college roommate at Harvard in 1975.
College roommate. Dennis Wong was Steve Ballmer's college roommate at Harvard. All these Harvard dudes running around here acting like they above and high and mighty. And little old Pablo, who got away from ESPN because he dared to want to be great and do his own investigative work. Oh, yeah. Little old Pablo. They going to prison, bro. Forget the NBA shit. They going to prison, nigga.
These are the things that I'm kicking around my head. I got my Clipper jersey on. I'm trying to think about this in the most innocent way and say, well, maybe the Clippers, and by extension Dennis Wong, didn't know that Aspiration was headed to the shitter. And so he's like, hey, Steve, what's the name of that company you invested in? $50 million? Like, oh, Aspiration. I love them. Cool. I think I'm going to finally get off my keister and go ahead and put in a little quiche on it. 2 million sounds about right.
There is no way that Dennis Wong was not aware of the existing relationship that Steve had with Aspiration.
Well, it's not that. Was he aware of the existing financial dire straits that the company was in?
I don't think it mattered to him. If he had been asked if he needed to put in the $2 million to get it to Kawhi, he didn't do it with the expectation.
David, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
We reached out to Dennis Wong via email, by a phone number linked to him in a records database. Also to the Clippers with interview requests, detailed list of questions. As we do here at Pablo Torre Finds Out, we outline our reporting. And Wong did not respond before I did.
He didn't respond. Nothing's going to happen to Pablo. Nothing's gonna happen to Pablo. Pablo, nothing's gonna happen to Pablo.
Database. Also to the Clippers with interview requests, detailed list of questions. As we do here at Pablo Torre Finds Out, we outline our reporting. And
you guys got to understand, the feds are involved. Nothing's gonna happen to Pablo. The feds are investigating all of this. If Pablo found this, what the hell you think the feds are working on? Pablo may have just blown the feds case up in front of everybody, and he gonna make the feds come out quicker. Because now, guess what's gonna happen? Uncle Dennis and them, if they all these people that's involved, they're gonna have to shut everything up because the feds is watching everything. You don't even know what the feds got up on these dudes. Bro, I swear to God, bro, if the feds go and arrest Steve Ballmer, Dennis Wong, anybody else that was involved in the Clippers organization, Kawhi Leonard and Uncle Dennis, bro, I'm gonna fall out my seat, bro. Because all this for a weak knee, all this for a weak knee dude who play part-time. And you know what? I can't even blame Kawhi Leonard no more. If the owner know about him playing part-time and all this stuff, because the dude didn't want to do no work for the endorsement. So if you knew he didn't want to do no work for the endorsement, you damn sure knew he didn't want to do no work for y'all.
And Wong did not respond before our deadline. But the Clippers wrote us a new statement. Quote, the details of our relationship with Aspiration are under NBA investigation, but it is clear the company was a house of cards that defrauded Steve and many others. We look forward to sharing the facts with the league and providing them with all the information they need. End quote. Now, when we responded to that statement with follow-up questions about Wong's investment, the Clippers didn't respond.
So they didn't. They didn't respond when he exposed him about David Wong. Boy, this boy Pablo is out here. And somebody said Pablo take to the NFL too. He already did. I told you guys, Pablo's resume is crazy. Pablo has already investigated Bill Belichick. He's already investigated the NFL for collusion. He's already investigated Ramon James. He said he's going to start investigating Jalen Brunson and his deal with the New York Knicks. And it was somebody else he investigated. I forgot to tell y'all. This shit is crazy, bro. And he left ESPN just so he could do this type of work. Boy, that dude is crazy, man. And somebody said Fed agent of the decade. He don't have to be a Fed agent, bro. This shit was already out in the public. Once the company went bankrupt, and you got Kawhi Leonard's LLC up there that y'all owe him money, it's game over, bro. Everybody's gonna see that. You are a sponsor. You're the number one sponsor for the Clippers. You go bankrupt. What's the first thing everybody gonna do? They're gonna look at your paperwork. They're gonna say, how the hell did this Clippers sponsorship? Clippers supposed to have a $300 million sponsorship go bankrupt. People got to use their brains. Y'all calling Pablo a snitch. You guys don't have no common sense. The Clippers have fans. Everybody saw that the Clippers were being sponsored by Aspiration. They had it on their jerseys. They had a big outline for it, everything. That company goes bankrupt. When they go bankrupt, they have to put out their financials, right, to who they owe. That's in public tax information. Once they see K2L Aspire LLC, K2L, who the hell is that? Or KL2, Kawhi Leonard. Then they see who was under this LLC. It's Kawhi Leonard. Bro, this is how dumb Dennis and them is. If you're going to do the LLC, I'm going to show you how dumb these people are. You're supposed to do it in a whole different person's name. Not even Kawhi. You're supposed to do it in somebody else's name, not even Uncle Dennis, somebody else that's not attached to y'all. You're supposed to get them to do it, get an LLC, put their name on it. That way that money gets sent to them. And then you have barriers in between that. These fools said, hey, Kawhi, go get an LLC. And we're going to send it straight to your LLC to you. Easy work. They make this shit too easy for the feds. What you think the feds going to do now? I mean, bro, this is criminal. This is a criminal case right here. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So they made it so easy for when this company went bankrupt to find out who was involved. This was easy work. This ain't even take hard work. Pablo just had enough sense to look at the financials and say, hold on, this company went bankrupt? And once you looked at when they went bankrupt, it said they have to put out a list of all the people they owe money because they went bankrupt. And KL2 Aspire is up there. LLC, everybody's looking at KL2 Aspire. Who the hell is this? All you got to do is look whose name is under it. You know whose name is under it? Kawhi Leonard. It's his LLC that was created. And here's the thing where they're going to nail Kawhi Leonard to the wall. They're going to find out why Kawhi Leonard, if he's not getting paid through his LLC, through all his other endorsements. I guarantee, how much money you want to bet he's not getting paid through an LLC for New Balance? How much you want to bet? They're going to ask him, so why you using the LLC to get paid from this one, but you ain't getting paid for nobody else? Make it make sense, bro. The man put his first initials, last initial in his number, his jersey. But people ain't got no sense. This is laziness to the core. Meanwhile, they didn't want to give Paul George money. Paul George out there doing more than Kawhi. You know Paul George wasn't getting no money on the table. I know Paul George got to be fuming. Think about how Paul George feeling right now. Think about this. Think about how Paul George feels. And somebody said every NBA team is doing this. Bullshit. The Philadelphia 76ers ain't doing it. If they was doing it, they would have paid James Harden under the table and kept him because his boy was running the team. Nope. Every team ain't doing it. They don't have the money like Steve Ballmer had to do it. Say it again. If everybody was doing this, James Harden's best friend, the man who was running the strippers, he would have paid James Harden immediately under that table. And James Harden wouldn't have said a word. They're not doing it. And that was James Harden, boy, over there in Philly. That's who's the GM over in Philly, y'all? What's his name? The dude that came over from Houston. What's the dude's name in Atlanta? The GM, Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey would have paid. Bro, listen. If James Harden would have stayed for less money, Daryl Morey would have been on the hook. Everybody would say, hold on, man, what the hell going on? Nope. Daryl Morey's like, man, look, we ain't got the money to pay your ass, dog. James Harden left. That's how you knew he wasn't getting that bread on the table. This is how you could tell. The Toronto Raptors won a championship with Kawhi and didn't want to do nothing illegal. They wanted to play by the rules. Even the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that everybody hate on, they was like, nah, Kawhi, we can't do that for you, bro. That's illegal. Are you crazy?
I want to validate your attempt here.
Right.
And I want to acknowledge something, which is that if you do think that maybe Dennis Wong was blind to the utter mess unfolding inside of Aspiration at the time,
Right.
a useful detail to know is that his daughter just happened to be an employee at Aspiration.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. It's over with, bro. Steve Ballmer's daughter works for Aspiration. Lord Jesus, man. These are the biggest damn fools I've ever heard, man. This is the biggest damn fool I've ever heard, man. Oh my God, man. This man's daughter worked for Aspiration, bro. This is the biggest damn idiot. And they be making y'all think that billionaires are smart. No, they have pretty much have smart people that's around them and help them get to these certain levels that ain't getting paid nowhere where they getting paid. Yo, bro, let me play that again.
Wong was blind to the utter mess unfolding inside of Aspiration at the time.
Right.
A useful detail to know is that his daughter just happened to be an employee at Aspiration.
Jesus.
Dennis Wong's daughter?
According to her LinkedIn bio, which reads Project Manager Operations.
No, Dennis Wong's daughter. Lord Jesus, man. His daughter was an employee at Aspiration?
Strategy. Which means that through his college roommate and partner, Steve Ballmer.
Listen, hold on. Let's play that again. I want everybody to hear what he just said.
Jesus.
Dennis Wong's daughter?
Here.
Right.
And I want to acknowledge something, which is that if you do think that maybe Dennis Wong was blind to the utter mess unfolding inside of Aspiration at the time,
Right.
a useful detail to know is that his daughter just happened to be an employee at Aspiration.
Jesus.
Dennis Wong's daughter?
According to her LinkedIn bio, which reads Project Manager, Operations, and Strategy, which means through his college roommate and partner, Steve Ballmer, who had invested $50 million of his own money into Aspiration, and through Aspiration's deal that was collapsing with the team Dennis co-owns, the only limited partner of the team, the Clippers, and also through his own daughter, who's witnessing the sinking of this ship firsthand, who my sources all knew as a colleague.
Damn, bro. They done. Dun, 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 dun. It's over with, bro. Dennis Wong's daughter was working at Aspiration and telling them all the information, allegedly, about what was going on in the company. Her dad funnels $2 million in there when they didn't have any money to pay anybody and was laying off 100 employees just to pay Kawhi Leonard. The owner put $50 million to make sure in that company, and Kawhi Leonard got paid $48 million. Make it make sense. Kawhi Leonard was supposed to get paid $48 million, $20 million in stocks, $28 million in payments. Nasty work, man. Nasty work, bro. Your daughter and Steve Ballmer's talking about, oh, we didn't know. You idiot. Their daughter? Are you crazy? Is working for the company? Man, y'all dudes is clowns.
He had several very informed ways to know quite a bit about what company he was sinking $2 million into right as Kawhi Leonard needed to be paid $1.75.
It's almost like the
And I'm going to tell y'all something. And I don't want to put this out here. I'm going to say this to y'all. I'm going to be the first one to say this. Because y'all said something. I told y'all that Mark Cuban was playing mind games. Mark Cuban wasn't taking up for him. But I want y'all to think about something. Look how quick Mark Cuban got right on Pablo's show. You don't think Mark Cuban heard things about all this shit that was going on? I have a half a mind of me to believe that Mark Cuban potentially is rolling with Pablo on this secretly. I have a half a mind to believe that Mark Cuban knew what was going on behind the scenes and wanted to break Steve Ballmer for what happened in the past with DeAndre Jordan. He never forgot that, in my opinion. And I think the fact that he was so eager and quick to get on that show with Pablo shows you that their connection. Pablo had a line right to Mark Cuban. You know how hard it is to get a line to Mark Cuban? And Mark Cuban just come on and give you an hour and a half of time? Nah, it ain't happening out of nowhere, bro. Billionaires like Mark Cuban ain't giving you an hour and a half of time if they don't rock with you. They got to rock with you. That's why when everybody misread Mark Cuban, I didn't. I told y'all. Mark Cuban knew exactly what he was doing. Mark Cuban hopes, in my opinion, that Steve Ballmer gets the absolute sledgehammer dropped on his ass. And I think Mark Cuban knew all this shit was going to come up. Period. This shit is over with for all you stripper fans. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap, bro. Y'all's assistant, y'all co-owner, daughter worked for Aspiration. It's over with. And Steve Ballmer went on national TV, which he should have never did. I told y'all that was the worst thing Steve Ballhead did, was went on national TV running his mouth. Talking about, I don't know. How would we know? Fool. The co-owner's daughter worked for the company. What the hell is wrong with you? That's why I told y'all, just because you got $1 billion don't make you smart.
opposite of insider trading.
He was sinking $2 million.
Listen to what Amin said. I want y'all to hear what he said about inside trading.
Into right as Kawhi Leonard needed to be paid $1.75.
It's almost like the opposite of insider trading. Right? You had the scoop
It's idiot trading.
to not put money in.
Yes.
Unless you weren't
Allegedly.
investing in this to make money. You were investing in this for a different reason.
And I should also clarify that
And what he just said, and what Amin just said, is why the Fed's gonna come sweep all that shit up. Insider trading allegation. Right there. Listen to what he said.
had the scoop.
This idiot he was sinking $2 million into right as Kawhi Leonard needed to be paid 1.75.
It's almost like the opposite of insider trading. Right? You had the scoop
idiot
to
trading.
not put money in.
Yes.
Unless you weren't
Allegedly.
investing in this to make money. You were investing.
And you knew it was a fraudulent company, and you just wanted to funnel money through that company to pay Kawhi because you didn't want to pay him direct and get caught by the National Basketball Association. So now you put yourself in a Fed charge. And people will say, well, damn, man, why didn't Steve Ballmer save the company so that they didn't get the bankruptcy and getting charged by the feds? It was too late. He wasn't going to put his money in there by then. He wasn't going to save that company then. It would have really made him look guilty had he would have came and financially saved them. He could have did it, but he would have looked too guilty. So he let in my opinion, he just let it go.
In this for a different reason.
And I should also clarify that, let's call him Grandpa Dennis. Grandpa Dennis specializes in real estate. He's a brilliant and wealthy investor. And he's a noted philanthropist, including to one conservative think tank. The guy knows his way around a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And around the NBA, what Dennis J. Wong is most known for, actually, is helping build the building that his old roommate cares about more than any other.
Woo! Damn, I'm fired up! I have to say, I'm a little anxious tonight. I love what we built.
Unlock your stay for less.
I love what we built. What else do you love? Fake ass Steve Ballhead. What else do you love, buddy? Let's ask you about that. Running around here with that fake energy all the time.
I want all of you to love what we built, but my partner, Dennis Wong, sitting here in the front row, Dennis is
My partner, Dennis Wong, game over.
in the real estate business. And he said, come on, we've known each other since 19... Do this, Balmer, let's go! And I said, okay, we need our own house.
I just want to acknowledge what we've established here in a simpler way, which is that the only other owner of the team that is denying that this was cap circumvention invested almost exactly the amount of money needed to finally pay off Kawhi Leonard, having never invested in this company, which was in December 22, as you've exhaustively conveyed, going into this year. His college roommate is Steve Ballmer, who put in 50. His daughter is an employee, as well as the basic fact that, I don't know, maybe he just had a sense that $2 million into a company that had previously raised over 300 was a weird thing, as my first source did want to underscore.
There's multiple things that are conspicuous. One, we're broke. So to invest in a broke company is beyond me. Really don't understand it. I must not be a very sophisticated investor. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is the amount that's being invested. That's such a nominal amount if we're talking pure investment, especially in a late stage startup that's in the process of a SPAC or on the outside date of a SPAC or going to SPAC at some point and has already raised in a year earlier $300 million. What does $2 million buy you?
But I did want to know what my second source knew at the time about the different Dennis in question.
I knew the name Dennis Wong because I got 2 texts from this very senior executive at the firm regarding Dennis Wong.
So inside of Aspiration, Dennis Wong's investment was identified as an investment with the Clippers clearly attached as part of the identification.
Yeah, and I do have another text as well. This is from November 13th, 2022. Long is Ballmer partner.
How surprising is it that a new investor would put money in December 2022 who had not already clearly been deeply invested into the company?
So it is beyond shocking And I will tell you, I knew that the board, which is Ibrahim Husseini, who's been indicted, and Joe Sandberg, who's been indicted, I knew that they had put money in December to make payroll and make rent and all that material. It is not a rational investment that someone would make. So it is very shocking to me that $2 million was made as an investment by Dennis Wong, who in my text is identified as the Clippers, Steve Ballmer's partner. A week before, $1.75 million was paid to Kwahi.
Okay, so this is where I just gotta jump in here to point to yet another document that Pablo Torre finds out has obtained. Because this document is the stock purchase agreement dated December 9th, 2022, made by DEA 88 Investments LP and signed by its president, Dennis Wong. Ultimately, giving the Clippers vice chairman and alternate governor and only minority owner of the team, not to mention Steve Ballmer's college roommate, 0.072% of an eventually bankrupt company. But the big reason I wanted to mention this here is because this contract also very clearly discloses some very important, and for any potential investor or attorney, very alarming facts about Aspiration at this moment in time. For instance, quote, "The company is in default," end quote. Furthermore, quote, "KPMG resigned as the company's independent auditor," end quote. Also, Aspiration, the company in question, is facing significant litigation for millions of dollars, as described here. Not to mention inquiries from government agencies, including FINRA and the SEC. Now, notably, and in corroboration of our second tape source who had told me this previously above, the only other two investors listed in this document who decided to invest alongside Dennis Wong and his $1.99 million in December 2022, as all of this is happening, after being presented with these same alarming disclosures in writing, are Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg and Aspiration board member Ibrahim Al-Husseini, the two individuals who have pled guilty to wire fraud this year in federal court.
You lied to us.
It's over with, bro. Bro, that motherfucker might go to prison, bro. The feds don't question these people, and they probably building up charges against Steve Ballmer and them. Kawhi Leonard could get caught up in this. Uncle Dennis could potentially get caught up in this. Dennis Wong could get caught up in this. Bro, these people could all go to prison. I told y'all this the other day. They could all go to prison. Potentially. I told y'all this. Y'all think I'm joking. I got a different video once again that's going to talk about that. Y'all think it's a game, bro. Them people ain't playing, man. You talk about that much money? Why you talking about, man, bro, man? I'm just gonna come here and talk about it later on. I'm gonna do a video in a couple hours, bro. Cause these people always be thinking somebody capping. And y'all know, everybody who know y'all know me. I was never capping. You know what I'm saying? I was never capping. You know what I mean? You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that they going out like this, man. But it is what it is, bro. They going out sad, man. They going out sad, bro. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'm about to put this down for y'all. I'm about to show y'all something, man. It's over with, bro. Bro, listen. And here's the bad part. Not only did they not win a championship, Shea goes to OKC, wins the championship. Kawhi, Paul George is no longer a part of the team. You know what I'm saying? People are damn near pushing him towards retirement. Then you got the situation with, it's so bad, bro. That shit is so bad, man. Then you got the situation with Kawhi, part-time player. He haven't won with the Clippers. They've revamped and rechanged the roster so many times. Bro, man. And then you got to ask yourself, where's Tyronn Lue in all this? Does he know anything about any of this? I don't know. I can't put Ty Lue in this. He's only the coach. But, you know, what does he know about all this shit, bro? Bro, this thing is bad, bro. You know they're going to question him. So he automatically going to get dragged into this shit just because of Kawhi. Just because Kawhi. He automatically get dragged into this shit, bro. It's a real, you know, it's a real sad situation when you look at it overall, man. You know? And now, you know, people may end up really going to prison off of this stuff, man. And you just look at the whole situation and, you know, it really disappoints you. Because you say, man, dog, like, Kawhi Leonard should never, ever even had any kind of involvement with any type of shit like this, bro. It shouldn't even, like, and Uncle Dennis, you know what I mean? Like, the greed on that dude. The greed on that dude. You know what I'm saying? The greed on that dude. It's just, you know, you talk about greedy dudes, man. You know, it's one of them situations, man, where he's a greedy guy, man. Let's keep going, man.
Put money into a startup or into any company, you are told, here is the sources of funds, here's the uses of funds. And you put in $2 million into a company, hey, what are you using it for? Are you paying down debt? Are you using it for payroll? Are you using it for research and development? Are you going to try to cure cancer? What do we got here? It would seem to me that Dennis Wong would not be shocked to hear that his money was being used to pay Kawhi. But it would be interesting to find out, in my head, is did he think that he was putting in money to save the earth? That this was $2 million that was required to keep it going?
That's the part that I'm trying to get at I'm giving you guys the maximum benefit of the doubt. Dennis Wong, who has a daughter that works for the company, I have to assume, even if the daughter was not in the finance department, she was a project manager, she would still be aware of the general tension in the company. I've worked at places where there was that tension.
President got fired, CEO turnover, general counsel got fired.
She may be doing her job. She may not be in the office. She may just look every 2 weeks to make sure there's a meager payment coming.
But you don't know what's up, but you know something is up. You know.
It's easy to argue.
Is it rational? Is the question.
Right.
For Dennis J. Wong.
Podcast court. There you go.
To put in, coincidentally, just enough to get the most important employee of the Los Angeles Clippers paid at the scheduled date with just 9 days to go.
Now, what Wachtel has to do is now the Clippers have to explain this one too. They have to explain this investment because the 50, you tied it to 48, 28 plus 20.
And that was months between.
I could argue how you did that, but it has to be explained. This one, for certain, has to be explained. And I don't know how he will rationalize it, but he will have to when he meets with Wachtel.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if you're the Clippers and this information has now come to light, is the play now that Dennis Wong was a rogue agent?
Rogue agent. He gonna have to throw Dennis Wong under the bus. He gonna have to throw his own man under the bus, Steve Ballmer. That's crazy, bro.
Operating outside of the purview of Steve Ballmer and the rest of the Clippers leadership.
That's right. The only man Steve Ballmer trusted to own a percentage point of his team, the only person, is the guy who betrayed him, even though they've known each other since 1975.
Now, will he go fully pay?
Well, now
let's talk about that.
Look,
that's the question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Is Dennis Wong gonna come out and tell all, man? Is Dennis Wong gonna come out and save his own ass if the feds come, man? Man, because y'all know how people get, man. When them feds come, man, a mofo that you've been cool with for years will turn on you, bro. I'm telling you. Them feds come, man. Bro, shit get real funny when them feds come, bro. And here's the question. Their friendship is going to be tested, man. Their friendship is going to be tested. Because, again, once the feds come, bro, you can pretty much pack this shit up, man. Pretty much pack it up, bro. Feds get involved, man. Somebody going to prison, bro. And if they get Kawhi locked up, and they lock up Uncle Dennis, and they lock up Steve Ballhead and Dennis Wong, and all these other people, bro, it's going to be a sad story for the National Basketball Association. It really is. It already is one, but it's going to do a lot of damage.
So as we're contemplating endgame strategies, because I believe that this is the single most indicting piece of documentary evidence we have provided.
Yep.
This series of facts and this context. I should say here, to be very clear, just full disclosure, that Pablo Torre finds out is independently produced by Meadowlark Media and distributed by The Athletic. The views, research, and reporting expressed in this episode are solely those of Pablo Torre finds out and do not reflect the work or editorial input of The Athletic or its journalists. But this is what I'm contemplating. According to the reporting, we have now shown how Steve Ballmer invested $50 million into Aspiration, made the company the founding partner of his contemplating. According to
He showed all the paperwork, bro. See, that's the one thing you can't get around is that paperwork, man. Can't get around the paperwork, man. He showed evidence that Steve Ballmer invested at $50 million. He invested $20 million, invested $30 million. It's game over, bro. There ain't nothing else to talk about. And if y'all think that's a cap too, I'll show y'all the paperwork on that too. Shout out to Pablo. The real Noriega, he owed me 100 favors. The real Noriega, he owed me 100 favors. Right? Let's get to that part right there. Let me show y'all that part. Because that part is the most damning. Nah, well, Pablo is a journalist. Everybody know this. They call him a podcaster. But Pablo left ESPN to do this type of work. This shit all over the news now, man. Kawhi's gone, man. It's all over the news, bro. It's all over the news. Y'all see it right there on y'all screen. It's all over the news, bro. This dude is out of here, man. Pack this dude up, wrap him in plastic, man. But in case y'all needed to know it or see it, there it goes right there. In case y'all needed to know or see it, there it goes right there, bro. Period. You know what I'm saying? To the person who said stop making noise, Steve Ballmer ain't gonna get touched, man. Sit down and shut the hell up, nigga. And tell your mama I said hello. And you says Carmelo, he says, you get so sensitive over your Spanish roots using I don't have Spanish roots. What are you talking about, sir? I don't have any Spanish roots, sir. My parents are both black. What are you talking about? Empire Inc. You don't know a motherfucking thing about me, fool. I know Spanish because I play pro basketball overseas, you dumb son of a bitch. What is you talking about? You an idiot, boy. And you a goddamn fool. The only reason why I know Spanish because I played pro basketball overseas for over a decade, you idiot. You a goddamn fool. The fuck you talking about, nigga? What about your mama, nigga? How about that, Empire Inc.? Tell your mama I said hello on the way out, nigga. You a clown, boy. Talking about your Spanish roots, nigga. Shut your dumb ass up, boy. What happens is when you go all over the world like I have, you learn other languages, you idiot. These dudes is clowns on YouTube with full gold jewel on, nigga. Straight like that. And like I told that bum, you a straight bum. And Carmelo Anthony did more for the black community than hating ass Tariq Nasheed. Go look it up. But Tariq Nasheed sit over there and let DJ Vlad say whatever he want to say about the black community, apologize and throw some dollars at him for an interview and they cool again. Fuck out of here, nigga. The hell wrong with you? Y'all keep going for that garbage. I won't. Sit down and shut your stinking ass up. Come over here playing these games with me, boy. You got me twisted, boy. You got me twisted, nigga. Like I said, I think all these dudes are suspect, nigga. Period. And I'm calling all that shit out. I've been called out a lot. from the very beginning. And people, all these people already know. I've been called that dude Kawhi. I already knew he was a fraud. I've been told everybody. You can get mad at me all you want. It is what it is. But now all them bums is getting done. Straight up. All them bums is getting exposed now. Bald head Steve Ballmer exposed. He white. I'm talking about him. Why you ain't mad about that, punk? Why you ain't mad about that, you punk? See how these dudes operate, y'all? Look at what's on y'all screen right now. Right? Look at what's on y'all screen right now. Look at what's on y'all screen right now. That's the paperwork from Steve Ballmer. Paperwork. Investing right under 20 million and 30 million. Look at it, it's right there. 50 million total. Yeah, it ain't my fault them hoes got caught cheating. They got them dudes was the ones that sloppy. They the ones got the Fed investigation on them. I just told you that they was a lie from the beginning. And I told you I told you two things. I said they the strippers and I said he's a lie. Point blank period. And I was right about both of them. This just icing on the cake that these bums got caught doing this. Because they got the full blow. Not only did they not win a championship with the strippers, but the guy they traded won a championship before them with a non-super team and Shea Alexander. The hell is you talking about, boy? You better step your ass out of here. You don't be in here when I'm doing 100 videos talking about JJ Redick, punk ass. Why you ain't in here when I'm talking about JJ Redick? Y'all ain't want to do no videos talking about JJ Redick. Y'all want to get him a pass. So you better not ever come across my path. When I did 100 videos talking about JJ Redick and him, the black girls saying that he called them the N-word, y'all didn't say nothing. You sat up here and you ignored those videos. You ain't want no smoke with JJ Redick. But now you mad because Steve Ballhead and Kawhi in here getting cooked? Man, get out of here, bruh. Don't get mad at me, get mad at them. They paid that weak-knee chump. And I apologize to my brother Atlantean. I used to give my boy Atlantean hell about what he said about James Harden and him. I agree with Atlantean now. I agree with Atlantean now. Kawhi Leonard's career can't be better than James Harden based off what we're seeing now. A part-time dude that everything he got was part-time. The Finals MVP he got with the Spurs, part-time. The Finals MVP that he got with the Raptors, part-time. Everything he got is part-time. He ain't did nothing full-time and win it. Think about what I'm telling y'all now. The only thing he getting paid for, he getting full-time bread. And he get all of the praise, all the accolades. But in the end, that ultimate greedy, not want to do nothing. And you know what that makes me think? The fact that he didn't want to do nothing, it doesn't make me think it was all about Kawhi. It makes me think about his uncle. It make me think about his uncle, bro. It make me think about his uncle being a greedy ass user of his nephew and destroyed his nephew's career and may be the reason why his nephew ended up in prison along with himself. And I'm gonna tell you this. And the reason why I say that is because it is Kawhi Leonard do those commercials for New Balance. Think about that. Kawhi Leonard does those commercials for New Balance. But why wouldn't Kawhi do these other commercials unless somebody else wanted to get paid? And they say, oh, well, we don't need Kawhi to do the work for that. Just pay me the money. They say Uncle Dennis was the one that was calling upset about those non-payments. Not Kawhi. Uncle Dennis. You know, I got to get me mine too. Think about that. Think about what I just said to you. Are y'all cool with these chumps? Like I said before, man. So, is it all about Kawhi? Is it all about Kawhi? That's the real question. That's the real question. Straight up. Let's keep going. I ain't finished stir frying these punks. And like I said before, these dudes are sad, bro. That dude want to come in here and he don't even know what the hell he talking about. He's talking about, oh, Ticket, your Spanish roots. Nigga, I don't have no Spanish roots in me, you idiot. I speak Spanish because I play professional basketball in Spanish countries, you dumb son of a snitch. You an idiot, boy. This is what happens when you get dummies like yourself running around YouTube, don't know what the hell you talking about. Fake pro-black. And a lot of y'all niggas is fake. You won't sit up there and talk that shit about Carmelo. Carmelo did more for the black community. Don't been in the black community. Don't put more money, his time, and efforts in the black community than you loudmouth ass niggas on YouTube. Y'all be running around here asking them for money. That nigga Kawhi, Carmelo puts money in the community.
Ballmer invested $50 million into Aspiration, made the company the founding partner of his basketball team's Dream Arena. Ballmer introduced his superstar Kawhi Leonard to the company, Aspiration.
The introduction got made, and then they were off to the races on their own. We weren't involved.
A year later, as the company is, again, going under, laying off 20% of its staff, losing the co-founder, CEO, the president, general counsel, dozens more people. As that's happening, Kawhi Leonard is awaiting his quarterly payments of $1.75 million. And so, of course, the Uncle Dennises of the world come to collect. So, with this payment being late, and because the company was already running out of money, which is, imagine you're Steve Ballmer, in fairness to him.
How would I be able? Look, they conned me.
You're one of the richest men in America.
They conned me. I made an investment.
You put in 50.
Right.
And you're saying, by payment 2, you gotta get the different Dennis, allegedly? Dennis Wong, Grandpa Dennis, putting in 1.99, wiring the money 9 days before Kawhi got paid for his top secret no-show job that, by the way, nobody knew about for more than 3 years until we reported it. I mean, I just want to now throw it to our very senior executive source in the finance department at Aspiration for a second.
Crazy word, man. Crazy word, man. Bro, they can talk all that shit they can't want to talk about Carmelo, man. Half of them people that's talking, they don't do the things that he do in the community, so you can't really speak. Like I said before, the people, they just want to find something to attack, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. And they talking about, oh, why he didn't play for Team Puerto Rico? You don't have to play for Team Puerto Rico if he grew up in the United States. What are you talking about? But if his father's Puerto Rican, that's like if a Chinese dude grew up in the United States and his daddy's Chinese, he's Chinese, but he grew up in the United States. You think he's going to say F China? No, he's going to identify as Chinese. Even though he grew up in the United States of America, his race is going to be Chinese. That's going to be his ethnicity. What are you talking about? That's why in the United States of America right now, you can go to Chinatown. What's wrong? What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people? Your nationality may be different. You may be American because you was born in America. But your race may be Chinese. People crazy as hell, man. I'm trying to tell you, bro. They love to criticize the smallest things, bro. And black folks, man. I'm trying to tell y'all this, man. You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked about did Puerto Rico raise him. Who gives a fuck if Puerto Rico raised him or not? His father's Puerto Rican. His father died when he was 2 years old. He wanted to carry on the legacy of what his father represents. His father's parents were both Puerto Rican. Man didn't know his father, period. So he probably goes off everything his mother and the rest of his family told him about his father. And then think about all of his father's side of his family that's Puerto Rican, that's in Puerto Rico, that Carmelo probably is linked to. What, he's supposed to abandon all of them because his dad died at 2 years old because he had cancer? You people are dumb and illiterate and sickening. You're disgusting people. Point blank period. You deserve zero respect. Point blank period. So you don't know who raised him, nigga. You wasn't in Carmelo's life. You don't know how much his mother exposed him to his father's side of the family. Shut your ass up. These people is clowns on YouTube. Always want to dig into somebody. That's why I cook these niggas every day and on Sunday, nigga. But was these the same dudes talk all that shit, but will sit up here and let punk ass DJ Vlad run around here, pray all over the black community, have people come on, have black folks come on his show, talk shit about other black folks in front of black folks. And then anytime he's in the wrong, which is a whole lot, he apologized, throw some money at them niggas and they cool, but they call themselves pro-black. But instead of them raising up and being all black since they pro-black and staying on them black platforms, they go over to DJ Vlad because he throw some money at them, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. That shit don't fool me, nigga. Like I said before, but they want to get mad at Carmelo because of what he said. But they ain't keeping all money in. They going to get the outside money from these other people. But they want to talk about self-independence and power and all this other shit. Meanwhile, they over here taking money from Vlad. Don't do this with me. Like, y'all already know what's up. I'm surgical with this thing. And I'm on a different whole level talking. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, man. If you don't like it, hey, the hell with you. Point blank period. Hey, listen, man, I ain't even got nothing else on you. Tell you what it is, playboy. And they tell you how it might be, nigga. I'm going to tell you what a TI is. Yeah. So, again, I've been telling these cats forever and a day, stop playing with me. Because I will stir fry anything in my area, man. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to now throw it to our very senior executive source in the finance department at Aspiration for a second.
It really looks like the Clippers, through Dennis Wong, put in $2 million in order for Aspiration to be able to make the $1.75 million payment to Kwahi. That's what it looks like to me.
So the game is this a smoking gun? I don't know how much more you need in podcast court or, frankly, others. Look, at this point, I want to have you guys read the Clippers' two statements because I want to, again, just give them the opportunity to have foreseen that all of this could be out there. I mean, he said what?
This is a quote from the chief communications officer of the Los Angeles Clippers. Quote, neither Mr. Ballmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false.
And then to Shams Charania, after the episode came out,
Neither the Clippers nor Steve Ballmer circumvented the salary cap. The notion that Steve invested in Aspiration in order to funnel money to Kawhi Leonard is absurd.
absurd.
Yeah, okay.
David, I turn to you because when you ran the Marlins for a living for a very long time, you also specialized in crisis communications press releases. What does this all strike you as? Like, what do you do?
And investigations and being deposed.
That's right. As a guy who's been in real court and podcast court, what do you do with this? I want you to play that role for us.
Steve Ballmer will not be going on ESPN for a follow-up interview, number one. The Clippers shall not be doing anything other than saying it is an open investigation and we are not commenting. Number two, the NBA will have no further comment because it's pending an investigation. Number three. Number four is they take the information that they will get from you that they just got, and that gets added to the list of, okay, we need to check on this. This needs to somehow be rationally explained because it's yet another bit of evidence that shows the salary circumvention. So what you've done is just given Watt-Tell more work, more billable hours. I would expect them to have a statement that says thank you. because they will get a better vacation house. The firm will have better distributions to its partners. The NBA should be sending a statement that says "F you," because they will be spending more money on this investigation, which they will then be billing back to Ballmer. Little known fact, the investigation will end up being paid for by Steve Ballmer.
A real kick in the peanuts.
So Steve Ballmer gonna have to end up paying for all this in the end. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This is what happens when you believe in a lie. Like, share, subscribe. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there, you can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drop weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.